you can still see there's definitely a layer of grime still on the machine. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is not a video that I like to make. I don't like to make these type of videos, but I feel it's necessary to get the information out there to you guys that are watching this video so that you have an understanding of a product before you buy it. Now, quite obviously, I am not sponsored by Dewalt in any way, shape, or form. I don't know if they sponsor any channels, but irregardless, I'm not sponsored by them. I bought this on my own. This is a battery-powered, it's a 20-volt system. It is they call it a power cleaner. I call it a pressure washer, whatever. So I saw Dewalt and I said, okay, good. I want to buy a name brand one. I don't really want to buy one of the cheap ones. Sure, it might be fun to try it, but I want something that works good. So that's why I went with this system. So here's the wand that goes in there. That hooks into there, and we'll show you that after. It comes with 4 different nozzles. You can store them up here. They have this kind of turbojet thing and then some various degrees. Right now, I have the smallest degree in there. They call it a 15 degree. Here's the things right here. So I have this one in there, which is supposed to, you know, have like the most pressure. So I don't believe I mentioned this, but I have used this thing already and hadn't planned on making a video yet at this point. But I was very unhappy with the performance of this tool. So number one, it does not have enough pressure. So this says 10 times the pressure of a garden hose. Maybe it has 10 times the pressure of a garden hose with no nozzle, but it does not have 10 times the pressure of a garden hose with a nozzle. I can tell you that, and I'll show you that later. So we'll look in the box here. I'll show you. Here is the soap gun thing that comes with it. It just clips in there and you fill this with soap. One thing that was kind of cool about this, I thought too, there's this hose here. This will, you don't have to hook it to a garden hose. You can disconnect this and you can actually suck water from a pond, a barrel, you know, whatever, if you need to wash something off. So that was another thing I thought was pretty neat. You didn't actually need, you know, a water source coming from like a garden hose. So anyway, so there's our soap dispenser thing. So yeah, that doesn't last very long. And the battery didn't even last through the whole truck wash. So that was kind of disappointing that the battery didn't last that long. And the last thing that was a little bit frustrating was this connection point. It's a quick connect. I can't do it with one hand here, but you can see that this piece moves and you can pop this off. This is where your garden hose hooks in. With the hose hooked on there, what kept happening was this piece up here, your screen, this piece kept coming loose, and I probably tightened it 4 times while I was using it. Now, this is just plastic here, this piece. So, you know, you don't want to over tighten it. So I was just snugging it by hand, and you know, the weight of the hose just kept, something was pinching here or whatever. And, you know, when you tighten this, it doesn't swivel pivot as easily. So it kept knocking this loose constantly. So that was kind of frustrating as well. This unit with the soap kit, because you can buy it without the extra soap thing, was $199 plus tax. I bought it from Home Depot. It was free shipping. So it was just over $200 delivered to me. I am going to be sending it back, which is why I'm making this video now instead of, you know, getting some more time in using the product and then giving you a review on it. I'm not keeping it. It's a waste of $200 in my opinion. So, but what we're going to do is I'm going to get the skid steer out and I'm going to show you this thing. So there's just some light dirt and mud and things. You can see it kind of wipes off by hand there on the skid steer. And it is now wintertime. There's snow out. So just want to make sure you guys can see this good. We're going to take this out. Tires have got some mud and stuff on them. So we're going to back the machine out. We're going to hook that up. I'm not going to put any soap on it. We're just going to use the pressure attachments to show you what kind of job this thing does. So let me get everything set up here, and I'll show you how it works or doesn't work. All right, to pop the battery in, they give you kind of a waterproof cover here for that, so that's pretty cool. But basically, you open the cover, pop it in, close the cover, and that's protected. And then you have your quick connect thing here. You just push and turn, and that's connected, and there you go. It's a little bit heavy because of the battery. You know, it's heavier than holding a regular pressure washer wand, but that's to be expected. So let's go try it out. All right, tried to get the camera in the sun here. There might be some shadows. Everything's hooked up here. Like I said, this swivel here, it does swivel, but I can feel it, and I don't know if you guys can even see that. You can kind of see this turning a little bit. I have it snug down as tight as you can go by hand. So it has a low and a high. I've been running it on the high setting only to try and get the most pressure out of it. So let's go ahead and try and wash it off here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I am literally about 2 inches away from the machine. That's how close I have the nozzle to try and get this dirt off here. And remember, we're running the narrowest nozzle on here to get the most amount of pressure out of it. So it is taking a lot of the stuff off, but you can see how slow I'm having to go. And it isn't taking it all off perfectly. I realize it's a battery machine and not gas powered, but I would expect a little bit more out of it. My hope was to leave the wider nozzle on so you're doing a much wider area at once. But it will not take the stuff off very well with the wider nozzle. So you have to keep this little one on here. All right, so let's try a different nozzle. We have this blaster type nozzle. Do a quick change here. Good to go. Stick this back in the top, and then this puts out a little bit more water, but it doesn't get it quite as clean. And you can see that I'm still doing an area that is only about 2 inches wide at a time. It's not very practical. I don't know what you're really supposed to use this thing for. All right, we've been using this thing for 10 minutes. And right here now is leaking. Try to keep that tight enough. All right, just to give you an idea here, here's the high setting. Here's the low setting. You can hear a big difference. I don't know what anybody would even do on the low setting. It barely does anything. Back to high. That's a little bit better. All right, so I went to lunch and came back. The machine's mostly dry, a couple little wet spots here and there, but let's take a look and see how it did. So the light's gonna be kind of difficult, but you can still see there's definitely a layer of grime still on the machine. Hang on, bring the light over. Doing the best I can here to show you. It did take some of it off. I even did some of this up here and that didn't come off. So in closing, final thoughts here on this. Yes, it does clean a little bit better than a regular garden hose does. I can say that, but the other issues I mentioned still stand. The battery doesn't last a tremendous amount of time. It takes a long time to clean something because you have to have the nozzle real close, and it's only cleaning, you know, an area about 2 inches wide or so at a time. The soap dispenser empties out very quickly, and this guy here just constantly, this time what happened when I was using it was the weight of the hose was actually making the hose loosen from this instead of it loosening up there. So either way, you still have something here that's going to loosen. There actually is not any kind of a pivot point here, and there should be. So anyway, I'll leave it up to you guys what you think. You know, this was just over $200 with Pennsylvania sales tax included, shipped free. Is it worth it? You know, do you guys see yourself having a use for this? I honestly don't have a use for it here in my shop. While it will do some cleaning, it's very slow. It's not going to take thick mud off a piece of equipment. It's not going to take frozen snow off a truck to rinse it off. I'm really not sure what you would use the thing for. I mean, I guess you could clean patio furniture with it or something like that. But to me, it's not worth the $200, you know, for what I'm hoping to get out of it. Maybe I'm asking too much out of an electric tool. I don't know. But for me, I think it's kind of a waste of $200 here on our farm in this shop. So anyway, leave your questions, comments down below. Tell me what you think of this. Would you buy it? And, you know, I appreciate you guys watching this video. I hope it was helpful to you if you're going to make a decision on buying something like this. And I hope you'll hit the subscribe, the thumbs up, and the bell icon on your way out the door, and come on back and watch another video. Thanks for watching, everybody.